lots of recruiters reaching out and stuff, even from companies that I've applied before and nobody answered me. I realized that, I couldn't just depend on my skills or just trying to build alone in secret. I realized I needed to get people to know what I do. So as a newbie, what you should be focused on is, yeah, post that your for loop. Engineers would understand what a for loop is. You can't just wake up and start telling us how to build, how to do this, how to do that, right? We don't
Yeah.
know you.
All right. So, hello everyone. This is Mojisola right here. It's Mojisola. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. Wow.
Mhm. Thank you for having me.
Right. You look very stunning in person. So, this is the
Thank you.
Mojisola, the JavaScript Mojisola right here in front of us
Mhm.
in person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, Mojisola have been one of the developers, software engineer, senior software engineer who has been building a personal brand at the same time working with multiple companies across borders. And it makes me wonder how she managed to juggle work and also showing up online. All right, I know a lot of us have that question. How do you do it? Is it possible? We find it kind of like another show, trying to just juggle work, coming online, replying, even posting every day. But Mojisola just makes it seem all easy and seamless. So good thing we're able to pull her here so that she'll come and give us some of our tips and secrets on how she used to come online and perform what she does. So Mojisola, please tell us those your secrets. Those your secrets. What those spies that help us do what you do too. All right.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, so first of all, there's no secret per se. Um it's just what it is really. I mean, I realized that, I couldn't just depend on my skills or just trying to build alone in secret. I realized I needed to get people to know what I do, how I'm capable and stuff. And looking at the way the job market is and how the whole life is going, you realize that you actually need to have some form of online presence, some form of personal branding, and just some form of online presence, basically. So I realized that and I decided, okay, I'm going to be doing this. So it's simple, right? You just have to be able to manage your time. You know, time management is actually a skill that everyone should have because you do not want to spend all your time trying to do one thing. You should be able to juggle stuff around. So what I do, how I don't say secret, but how I do my content is on Sunday I batch create all my content and I schedule them. So I mostly post on LinkedIn. So what I do is I create all of my content on Sunday and then I batch create them for a particular time. So I have a particular time I know my audience are online. So I schedule that to post for that time. So basically, even when I'm not available or when I'm not able to come online, the posts they go out anyway and people get to see them. So I think that's like one way to do it. Um, as for the content itself, it's easy. If it's something you're doing, you should be able to talk about it. So that's why it's always advisable to pick on something you know about, something you literally live. I'm a software engineer, I'm a front-end engineer, this is my day-to-day job, this is what I do, so I actually know what I'm doing basically. So it's easy for me to talk about it. I just talk about my experience. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you will know that I talk about several things. I talk about front-end engineering itself, I talk about growth, I talk about my experiences in the job market, I talk about literally anything, but I just try to make sure I'm focused on the engineering market or the engineering audience because that's supposed to be my audience. So I don't go around talking about how to build your LinkedIn online or how to get your post to go viral. That's not my That's yeah, that's not my niche. I don't think you can ever find any posts from me talking about this. Here is what you need to do to get your post to do this. I myself have had, yeah, I myself have had like a few viral posts. I've had posts that went 2,000 reactions that got over 100,000 impressions and all. But still, I'm not coming to tell. That's not what I'm talking to my audience about. My audience, I'm sure the ones that follow me, they know they just want to hear about how I'm handling my own engineering career. So I'm very focused on that. So my advice for anyone who is watching is think about what you like to do, what you're passionate about, what you do, what you love. It doesn't have to be your job, right? Because I recently opened an account on TikTok and
Oh
I'm
wow.
definitely not talking about engineering there.
Eh,
So yeah, because I mean I already have LinkedIn for that. I probably talk about something else just to be playful around on TikTok. You get, but then it
yeah.
doesn't. So what I'm just trying why I brought that up is you don't have to because you're a software engineer or because you just have to talk about engineering. No, you have to talk about something you know you can consistently talk about, right? So that's something you love, something you're passionate about. If it's relationship that you know how to talk about, that's fine. I don't think there's anyone
Hmm.
talking about relationship on LinkedIn.
Are
So
you
maybe you will be the
serious?
one to start that. You could start
But
that, and I'm sure it will go viral because there are not a lot of people talking about that. But then you have
hmm.
to actually say something that people cannot just go and Google and find out. So you have to talk about something that people would see and be like, oh yeah, this is from your head to get. So
Yeah.
my advice is pick your niche and focus on it. Try to, build content on that particular thing. Don't post about this one today, post about this one tomorrow. Find a focus and just build on that. It will take time, but it will work for you. It will happen. People will start to get to know you. People will start to see your face more frequently. And I know, like right now, some people like my posts because they see my face. They might not necessarily even read what I
Hmm.
wrote, or they might not necessarily even care about what I wrote, but they know
But
Mojisola, right?
they
And
see you.
they know Mojisola, so they just like it. Maybe, yeah. So that's like the brand thing, right? So they already know me. They know my name. They know my face somehow. So once they see something about me, that works. So now the reason why I'm building the brand is we're in the tech industry, right? Every day you hear layoffs, you hear this one, you hear that one. So you can't just rely on your tech skills, especially when you know you're not building an MVP or you're not building your own thing. If you
Hmm.
realize that you're still going to continue to be an employee, then you need to build something for yourself. So in case anything happens to you, you have somewhere you can go and say, oh, today I'm writing an ebook, I'm gonna, market it here, or just have a form of audience somewhere that you can fall back to, basically. So
Oh
it's
wow.
really not advisable to just be more relaxed in your, oh, I know how to write code, I know how to do this. It's just nice to have an online audience. It's nice to have, it's necessary. So yeah, I know I've been blabbing and all, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's
that's just
cool.
summary of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
it's
you've seen
just
you've seen you already spilled some tea for us right there. You spoke about how time management helped you out. You spoke about batch
oh
creating.
yeah,
I also spoke about
yeah,
why it's easy for you to do what you do because you actually live it. All right, and that
yeah,
is very key. When you live it, it just makes it all easy. But how has this
yeah.
now impacted your brand now impacted your career in general? Has it allowed you maybe get more jobs or get in front of more people? And how long have you been building online
Mhm.
before you achieve this level of growth?
Okay, I'll start with the first question, the impact. So the impact of this brand building for me is been very much because first of all, from time to time, I've always wanted to do this whole speaking event. I wanted to do speaking engagements and all, but I wasn't really sure how to find people who would want me to speak at their events. But since I started building my brand on LinkedIn, I get invites from people. I could just be on my own and someone would just call me, could you speak at our so and so event at so and so time? So it's just the fact that they know that I do this thing now. So I don't need to go looking for them anymore. They probably would come to me, right? If they need my services. Also, since I started building my brand online, I've had people come into my DMs telling me that they have a specific role. So it's more of, am I available? Do I want to take on more roles? currently, I'm only focused on a specific type of job. So the invites I've been getting though are not the kind of jobs I want. So that's probably why. But still, I do get invites from people. So recruiters do reach out to me talking about so they have a role and they want me to apply, or they're hiring and stuff. So basically, it's been an influx of opportunities, and um I would say it's been very impactful. I've had to meet people that I generally not even meet on a normal date. I'm talking about CEO level kind of people. I get to chat with them every day. I get to talk to them. I get to share ideas with them. And that's just because for some reason they think I have sense based on what I've been
Nah,
posting.
nah, nah, nah. Wow,
Because
that's
yeah. So I mean, yeah, and so that's basically it, right? So I think that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, so you should only be focused on the advantages. I think disadvantages, I can't think of anyone at the top of my head, but I think there are some office spaces, like some places you work where they say you're not allowed to post content online. Luckily for me, I don't work in such organizations, so I'm able to, you know, post what I want to post. You get my job there, they do not care about what I do online. And but if you work somewhere where you're not allowed to build a brand, then maybe while you're there, maybe you should, stay out so you don't lose your job. I'm not advising you to lose your job, because really, if you lose it, you're gonna
you're going
it's
to
not
face it.
easy looking for a
Definitely.
job right now. Yeah. So, well, maybe if you believe that you prefer your brand more than the job, maybe the job is not so, and so maybe you could take the risk. I've seen so many people on LinkedIn talking about how they left their job to start up something. So,
Hmm.
if that's you, that's fine. So as for the duration, so um before now, I started building my brand on LinkedIn in August 2024. So before then, I had just been an engineer who used to just write code and don't talk about it. Nobody knew me, just me and my stuff. And then I met someone. So I was on LinkedIn a certain day, and I think the person went through my profile. So I had my profile filled up a little bit, and the person came to me and was like, um, a friend of mine told me about you. And I believe that if you start posting on LinkedIn, you would see that your life would change. That's what he said. And me, I'm like,
Wow.
no, I'm very shy. What will I be saying? Do you get, like, what will I talk about? LinkedIn is too serious. Like, I had so many excuses, really.
Yeah.
All of the excuses that people have right now. And he was like, no, I should just send out my first post. He would, because he is someone who has a lot of following, so he said he's going to support me, meaning he's going to like, repost, engage, just do whatever he has to do to make it, get to the right eyes. So I created my first content. My first content was how I got into tech,
Hmm.
which is really good. That's like always the first. I believe LinkedIn is a place where everyone likes to hear your story, they like to support you, which is
Yeah.
I feel like LinkedIn is a very easy place to grow as long as you're able to tell a story. So I was able to tell a story of, how my brother got me a laptop, how my brother told me that, okay, just, it's a true story, but
Yeah.
I made it very clear what I'm talking about, and how someone will read it and, be emotional.
Be
You
emotional
can cut
and
that
be able
part
to
out.
relate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's cool.
But yeah, the point here is that you should tell your story in a way that the next person will be able to relate. It's always best to tell us a story. You can't just wake up and start telling us how to build, how to do this, how to do that, right? We don't
Yeah,
know you, right?
yeah.
You need to talk us through your story and why we should trust you, you get.
Mm.
So I started off with my story, then I talked about how long I've been in tech, I've talked about some few things I built. And then, with from time to time, I started talking about, I've been building code for 5 years, I've been writing code for 5 years, this is what I've learned. From time, I just started building the trust little by little. And then I started engaging with a few creators, talking to them in my space too, in my niche, which is engineering. And we did a few collaborations. And then from there, I just started getting traction. I started doing mentorship on LinkedIn. I started doing some speaking engagements and all, and they were all like coming from LinkedIn, so they'll post about it. And before you know, I started getting lots of, you know, invitations, lots of requests from
Wow.
people, lots of recruiters reaching out and stuff, even from companies that I've applied before and nobody answered me. I
Yeah.
I get recruiters coming there. Do
uh,
you
uh,
understand? So
yeah.
it's actually it's a thing, right? It's I'm not even capping. I would have shown you, but I don't want to talk about or call any companies right now. But
Yeah.
even companies from abroad, I get them reaching out, telling me that, oh, they have. And when I'm on the interview, they're always like, who referred you and stuff like that. So um it's just a thing of when you start telling your story, just make sure that you're telling your story and you're authentic about it. And just make sure you know what you're doing, Sha, because sometimes if you need to be prepared when the opportunities start coming, you need to be prepared to get to, you know. So imagine I'm talking about all these things and then they call me to do an engagement talk and I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. It's just gonna come off as I'm fake and you know how that can go. So my advice for
Yes.
you is just make sure you talk about something you know you're sure that you know. Yeah, so it's impactful, definitely will change your life, but you need to be consistent. I was posting for about 2, 3 months before I started getting anybody to even know that I
Engage.
exist.
Wow.
So yeah, so I used to have like 5 likes or 10 likes. Now I post and I don't even I still know somebody will come and like it eventually, even if it takes one day. Sometimes my posts are gaining traction after 2 days, after one day. It doesn't matter to me anymore because I know there's still some people who
Some
are
will
waiting
come
for
and
Mojisola to post.
yeah.
Yeah, so basically,
Well,
so yeah, that's it for me.
that is cool. Well, and you have to be
Yeah,
prepared when the opportunity comes. That is it.
yeah, you have to be
That's
very prepared.
that is really something. So what advice do you give for a newbie, a beginner that is entering to tech? That there's a lot of idea about
Mm,
building in public. I just mentioned something like
mhm,
storytelling, and I'm not okay. I
mhm,
just gotten and so a lot of them will say to me, I don't have any story to tell. In fact, I don't even know what to post. I don't even know what
mm,
to write. Okay, you can't
mhm,
start a LinkedIn. An average LinkedIn user will not know what a for loop is. All right. What? How did I start saying I learned how to implement a for loop in JavaScript? So
mhm,
what do you have to say
mhm.
about those that are just starting out and they want to be like you? Because right now a lot of people aspire to be like you on LinkedIn. So what do you say to
Mhm.
that?
Okay, first of all, I would say you can't be giving a shit about who will like your post when you're just starting. You should be giving a shit about how your post is getting to the right audience. Trust me, if your post is getting to the right audience, you probably will not get a lot of reactions. If you're getting a lot of reactions, it may be that you posted something that everyone can relate to. And if you're saying you're in an engineering niche, it means mostly engineers should react to your post. Mostly engineers should relate to your post. So as a newbie, what you should be focused on is yeah, post that your for loop. Engineers would understand what a for loop is, right? Which is like your target audience. So what I would say is as you're starting, your first post could be about how you dived or delved into engineering. So maybe you came from a different course, maybe you were working as something else before and you decided to change, or you are a student and you're currently in your 200 level and someone told you about tech. Whatever the case may be, just talk about it. That should probably be your first post. And then your next post would be things you're building. Because obviously, if you're learning, if I started posting stuff on LinkedIn when I was learning, I'll probably be somewhere else right now. But right now I'm not learning anymore. So I'm not about to come and post. I built a dashboard, I did not build dashboard, because most of the work I do is for companies or clients, and I cannot come and posting about it, right?
Yeah.
But if you're learning, it means that you're still learning. So you're building apps, you're building portfolios, you're building whatever. So when you're building those things, you can make a video about how you solved something, how you realize something doesn't work, and then you had to do this. Just there are so many stories you could tell, and then you post it online. Fine, maybe the first 1 or 2 weeks you won't get enough likes. But trust me, if you post today, you post tomorrow, you post next tomorrow, I don't think anybody can consistently see your posts and just keep ignoring it. They just probably have to press like at some point. So you just need to numb yourself against the whole, just don't care about the reactions you get. Like I said, me, I am probably something on LinkedIn, but right now I started TikTok and nobody even knows me from there. But I used to share drop my posts and I don't care if anybody likes it or not because I know eventually I'm gonna get like people are gonna like it eventually. They just don't know me yet, which is
Yeah.
okay, right? I just came, they don't know me, and that's fine, but they're gonna know me. So I think that's the mindset you should have. Don't focus on the reaction, just focus on what you're trying to do. Today, someone will see you, next tomorrow, another person, and it's just going to keep going. So, to summarize my advice for someone who is just starting, post about how you got into tech or why you decided to be in tech, post about everything you're building, talk about it. If it's to talk about what you learned today, there's a babe on, sorry, I used the word babe. There's a girl on LinkedIn that she was doing an internship or so. So every day she goes to lesson. I think she used to go for like a live lesson. Every day when she comes back, she talks about what they taught them that day. And she's doing so well. I think she has about 4K followers and she gets reactions. So because people, I don't know, LinkedIn is just a very simple place for you to grow, to be honest. People used to say LinkedIn is not real, and that's why, because you can just come and post that you broke your leg and you learned something from breaking your leg, and you see everybody cheering you up for breaking
Yeah.
your leg, right? So you don't have to be too strategic. You just need to be human, basically. Post about what you learned today, that bug that gave you nightmare, post about it, and then post about where you saw your solution, how you implemented it. Even if it's ChatGPT that helped you, just talk about it in a way that someone else would relate. So I think my advice for you is just post about your journey, like literally your journey, not somebody else's journey, yours,
Yeah.
And then who knows, you might even get an internship from someone who's looking for someone who, when they see that you're actually doing something. So yeah, that's my advice. I don't know if I advised anything, but I think I may have.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, you did very well. You did very well. Thank you. So far, you've been insightful. I've gotten to learn from Mojisola herself, and it's really been
Yeah.
insightful. And you can see she's really fun, outspoken, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you have? What do you have concluding for us for anyone trying to build a personal brand on LinkedIn? And why LinkedIn in particular? Why not X?
Mm,
Or in general, what do you just have to say, final say for new techies or others that are aspiring to want to be where you are?
okay. Okay, so for me, I would say go for it. And you don't have to build on LinkedIn, but you need to consider. So, me personally, I'm someone who my strength is in my head, basically. So I'm smart mentally. I don't know if that makes sense. But if you're someone who is outspoken, you can play, you like to dance, like you're someone who likes to do stuff physically, like to make videos, whatever, you can use TikTok for that. But if you're someone who likes to, so what I'm trying to say is that you just need to know yourself because different platforms have different audiences. I believe that LinkedIn is their audience want to know your mind, they want to know your thinking, which I'm strong at. So that's why I choose LinkedIn because I believe that I could come up with content that would help with my brain without having to dance or do stuff. You get just so I don't know if that makes sense. But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be LinkedIn. It could be on X. I think X is a more Hmm. I think building an X it may be a little bit harder because X is a platform where people are playing, right? It's a bant kind of platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're coming with something serious, then you have to make us know why we leave the hot gist that is happening somewhere to come and read your post about engineering. Do you get?
Yeah.
So if you're so yeah, but I think X might be a very good platform to build if you are if you have the patience and you're someone who what is it called? You know that you're able to grab attention from
Mm.
something else. I don't know. But I just feel like it's based on the audience. I chose LinkedIn because I believe I could relate with the audience more. There are more serious people. There are more people. People come on LinkedIn to learn, literally.
Hmm.
I'm coming to teach you, or I'm coming to tell you what's on my mind. So I'm sure you're ready to listen to me. That's why I beat on LinkedIn. That's it's simple. So you decide, right, what you want to do. If you want to be on TikTok, that's fine. If you want to use X, that's fine. Bottom line is build somewhere. That's that's literally what I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah.
So build somewhere. Just heard it from Mojisola's mind. Build somewhere.
Or you
Mojisola
could
is,
build on all of them. Sorry about it. You could be everywhere. You could be everywhere, right? It
or it
doesn't have to be
could
one.
build
I didn't add
everywhere.
that.
But
You could build everywhere, yeah.
build everywhere, you have to be superhuman. Oh. Like Mojisola said in the beginning,
Yeah.
to take time management, to take batch creating, and
Yeah.
to take a proper structure for how you to do all that. All right, she batch
Yeah.
creates over the weekends, then schedule it during the weekdays. Maybe later she'll still come and spill more things because each time one respond, Mojisola always respond to comments. So
Yeah.
Mojisola is always
Okay,
there.
so let me add that. Hold on. So hold on, let me thanks for bringing that up. I just wanted to mention that when you post on LinkedIn, like the first 1 hour is very crucial. So what I do is I know I post at 9 a.m. every day. So from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm online basically. So just to answer the first set of people who are going to engage. But after 10 a.m., you're not probably not gonna see me on LinkedIn again till like night or till whenever I have time. But that first 1 hour I'm always available. So yeah, you can't just post and ghost, basically. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mojisola. So,
You're
Mojisola,
welcome.
it's been so nice to have you here. If you would like to have Mojisola back here with us, please make sure you subscribe, like, and share.